Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Lord Ryujin, your friendly neighborhood retro collector gamer, whatever. And I just got finished watching the Nintendo Direct, as you can see behind me, and I want to take a few seconds to talk about it. So, the first thing that I wanted to talk about was this, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Now, I know that there are some people that are out there that they are very excited for the fact that Nintendo has shown off a Legend of Zelda HD. But anybody that knows me knows how I feel. I'm tired of remakes. The first take of this video was a lot of cussing and a lot of just not pleasant things to say in regards to this. But I'm not going to do that this time because of the fact that I understand that there is a demand for this. You know, and I understand that there are people out there that they love Zelda enough that they want to play their favorite Zeldas again. And in the case of the Wii, or even the GameCube, there may be an audience out there that maybe did not ever play Twilight Princess on the GameCube, or for whatever reason. So they might have felt like this was needed. But I still stand by what I said before. And what I said was that for the price of this game, basically, you could buy the original Twilight Princess on the Wii and Skyward Sword and get two games that, this is basically going to be identical. Now, I'm sure that this one is probably going to have the GameCube controls and stuff, but if it allows you for the option to play with the Wii controls, that would be great, because the Wii controls were better. But basically, what I'm getting at is that you can pick this up for $20 and pop it into your Wii U and play it, and there's Twilight Princess on the Wii U. I didn't think that there was a point to having an HD remake. That being said, I get it to an extent. Again, there's a fan demand for it. People wanted to see it, and honestly, they're just going to use this as they're just going to use it basically as a placeholder. Now, this behind me, this Wolf Link, is probably the most exciting thing to come from this Nintendo Direct. And I think that is what is probably the scariest thing about this whole Direct, is that in 45 minutes of everything that you showed, this is the most exciting thing, because look at that. That is a very, very pretty looking amiibo. And it's from a Zelda game, which, you know, I love collecting the Zelda amiibos. And, yeah, I mean, but the point of the fact is that we don't know how exactly this is going to be used yet. It might just be as worthless as some of the other amiibos that have come out, but only time will tell on that. They also talked about how Twilight Princess is going to be compatible with these other amiibo that have been released, which, again, only time will tell how that's going to work. Like, are we going to get a different Link costume if we put Toon Link on there? Only time will tell how they're going to support these different amiibo. They also showed this off, which I'm glad that they showed off this part of Legend of Zelda here. As you can see, they showed it off for the Wii U here. It's only about 16 seconds, but it's enough of a little mouth-watering moment to make me look forward to when this comes out in 2016. However, that is my biggest problem, and one of the reasons why I feel as though they had to sort of make a Twilight Princess HD was because of the fact that they said 2016. They never stated when. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out in exactly 1 year from now, around November or December of 2016. Thus giving people a whole year to basically play another Zelda game to keep the Zelda crowd quiet while they continue to work on this game. And that is disappointing for somebody like me, because as you can see, I have two Zeldas here. In addition, I have Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, I have Wind Waker for the Wii U. I have every single console release for a Zelda game that has come out, with the exception of four games in the series. I have played every single Zelda game. So, if I want to play Twilight Princess, here it is right here. That's like saying, hey, there's a Skyward Sword HD coming out when there's a Skyward Sword right here. You see, that doesn't do anything for me. That's not like a mouth-watering, my heart stopped moment that is just okay. That's just more money to waste on a game that I'm not going to buy, but I will buy the amiibo because of the fact is they stated it's going to be compatible with that Zelda game. Again, I don't know how it's going to be compatible with Zelda Wii U. They haven't come out with any information in regards to that yet. But I'm looking forward to the Zelda Wii U. I don't care about remakes because I can just buy the original. I own enough consoles that I can just play the original version of a game. I don't have to buy a remake or a re-release or an HD pack or anything like that. Now, they did touch briefly on Zelda Triforce Heroes, a game that I want to play, but my 3DS is over there broken in half. So I need to get a new 3DS or get that one fixed or something, but I will be picking that one up. That is probably the Zelda game that I'm looking forward to playing the most this year once I can get around to playing it. And hopefully my 3DS friends will still be playing it when I get back, and we can play together and everything like that. But that's no real big news. We already knew that game was coming out. They did talk about some cool stuff that's coming to Splatoon, a game that I have yet to pick up yet. But I did love the beta that I played of that free multiplayer testing and stuff like that. So I will be picking it up. It looks interesting, and I really am looking forward to playing more Splatoon. But that is a game that's already out again. Now, when I say that I was excited for amiibos, this is the kind of stuff that I was talking about how they were showing how you can tap an amiibo and use it as a doubles partner for games like Mario Tennis and stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Needs to be for amiibos. Stuff where Metroid comes out and you can use Samus's amiibo for that game. You can use it in Smash Brothers, Mario Kart. It can stretch across multiple games or have clever uses. Now, Nintendo has shown quite a few amiibos lately that have had nothing to do with anything. They did show off some new gameplay footage of Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I'm playing here in the background now. This game is the game of the year for me. This is what I've been looking forward to ever since they showed it off at E3 a few years back, and they officially announced it. Even when they first announced the Wii U, and it was just called X, I was looking forward to it. And this game just looks beautiful. It looks very vast. It looks like it's going to be up my alley. It's going to be the action RPG that I will probably pick up the day it comes out, and you will probably not hear from me for a very long time as I play this game. It just looks really, really good. They also showed off this Pokemon Picross game, and they showed off another Pokemon game and another Pokemon game. And so all I'm really taking from this Nintendo Direct is Pokemon, 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 and Amiibo, Amiibo, Amiibo. And you'll see what I'm talking about as this presentation goes on, and I talk more about what Nintendo has shown off. Now, again, December's going to be a good month because not only is Xenoblade Chronicles X coming out, but we got Devil's Third. They announced it's going to be coming out December 11th. Really looking forward to playing that title. It looked really good, and the action looked like it's going to be right up my alley. And I'm excited that that's coming out. They actually showed a physical release for that game, but nothing for Fatal Frame, right? Digital only. Oh, whatever. You can still hope that maybe 2016 will get a physical release of Fatal Frame. But anyways, we'll talk more about what Nintendo showed off. I just wanted to talk about this. I think this was really neat. Nintendo also decided to announce a new Wii U bundle for those of you who have not gotten on board for the Wii U yet. That includes the two biggest hits. That would be Super Smash Bros. Wii U and Splatoon, as you can see behind me. I don't believe that they announced anything in regards to pricing yet, but I imagine that it's probably going to be about $100 to $150 more than the regular cost, just to sort of make up for that. It is still a 32 gigabyte model, and it has both games included, so if you look at the fact that maybe they're $50, $60 games, they might drop it down to $50 each, make it $100 more than the cost of a regular Wii, or Wii U, I mean. But that is worth it. Consider the fact that what I got with my bundle was Zombie U, Nintendo Land, and a Pro Controller. I got a lot for my $400. So that would be worth it for me if I was not already on board with the Wii U and everything. But yeah, that's definitely something to check out if you're considering even thinking about leaning towards a Wii U. And more Amiibo announced. What a surprise. Nintendo also decided to show off more footage of Star Fox Zero, a game that I was looking forward to playing this year. But now, unfortunately, it seems like we have to wait until April of 2016 to be able to play this game. Although it still looks good, and I am kind of interested in seeing how it's going to use the gamepad to aim while you're controlling the vehicles and stuff like that. I think it'd be really interesting. Unfortunately, you do have to wait for like another 5 to 6 months before you can actually play the game again. But that's okay. Hopefully the wait will be worth it. They did show off a little bit of this game. I think it's called Final Fantasy Explorers or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry. It did look interesting for a 3DS game, and I like the fact that you can customize the characters to look like Final Fantasy characters, and this will come into play later in case you don't already know. But the fact is that I'm not really interested in Final Fantasy. I haven't been for some time, despite the fact that I keep trying to play games within the series to try to get into it. I just can't seem to get into it. But this is something that I figured was worthwhile, because even though I don't like Final Fantasy games that much, this does look relatively impressive for a 3DS title, and looks like it would be something that would be enjoyable for Final Fantasy fans. Now, as you're going to see here, Nintendo decided they wanted to release a Gold Mega Man. I have no idea why. This doesn't seem any different from what the original Mega Man is, and based upon the fact that they were talking about it using in like the Legacy Edition collection and stuff like that, what is the point to this? This is the same thing as with the Silver Mario and the Golden Mario that was released, I think, exclusively at Walmart or something like that, where you do realize that there's no difference between this and a regular Mario amiibo, right? You're basically fighting each other over this. And when I look at that, and they didn't mention anything that the Golden Mega Man is going to do other than just be a Gold Mega Man, it really doesn't seem like it has a purpose. You know, it's something for someone to collect to have it. Because unless there's something special that Gold Mega Man does, like maybe give you extra power-ups or something, again, time will tell if they decide to throw that update in there. There's really not much of a difference between that and a Mega Man. So rather than spend more money to get a Gold Mega Man one, you can just buy a regular Mega Man one and get the exact same features. And once again, releasing Pokemon after Pokemon after Pokemon, although this one is something that I can actually get behind. They're releasing the original 3 Pokemon, the yellow, the red, and the blue edition, on the Nintendo 3DS eShop. That's something that I'm very excited about, because back in the days, red, yellow, and blue were the ones to have. They were the good generation for me, and then afterwards I started to get out of Pokemon, but I started to slowly lose more and more interest in Pokemon as the generations have gone on. But this takes me back to the days when me and my friends used to link up and battle each other with Pokemon. But, yeah, more Pokemon news. And I'm sure in some news that really probably didn't surprise anybody, but probably is a shock to some people, they announced a female Link. How about that? This is Linkle, going to be featured in the new Hyrule Warriors game that's going to be coming out for the 3DS. Hyrule Warriors Legends, I think is what it's called. Although, really, I'm surprised you didn't release an amiibo for this, Nintendo, because you've announced an amiibo for everything else. There's Animal Crossing amiibo, there's a Golden Mega Man amiibo. Why don't we just go ahead and we just release a Samus Turd amiibo, too? Because we're starting to get to the point to where everything is becoming an amiibo. So I'm really surprised that you didn't come out with anything involving Linkle yet. I probably just gave Nintendo an idea. And then in the final announcement of this Nintendo Direct was this. They started to show off footage from Super Smash Bros. At the hint that basically Final Fantasy was then going to be involved, and they brought in Cloud as a playable character. Now, this to me is probably the biggest anomaly when it comes to this Nintendo Direct, because I don't know how to feel about it. A part of me does not care for Final Fantasy. I lost interest in it a long time ago. However, the moves that Cloud showed off, the stages and stuff like that, they were really interesting. And it's going to be a character that's going to be kind of like Ryu, where it's going to be a character that I'm going to want to play, even though I don't really care for the series anymore. So Cloud has joined the battle, and I'm kind of iffy about it. You know, I know that there's some people that are really excited, and I know that with Nintendo and the whole point in this presentation was to do something, and I'm going to go ahead and just stop this right now because it's not needed anymore. I know that the whole point of this was basically fanfare. You know, fans requested that they come out with a Twilight Princess HD. Fans, I'm sure through that Smash Brothers ballot that they came out with, asked for Cloud. But here's where I don't understand, to an extent, if I may. How's the best way to word this? Basically what I don't get, and maybe it's because they want to show third-party support, you know, like, hey, you know, we're good with Square Enix, this is the reason why, because we have Cloud, or we're good with Capcom because we have Ryu coming in. But the whole point, to me, of Smash Brothers has always been characters that show up on Nintendo systems, and also characters that have shown up within the last generation. So having somebody like Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes would have made more sense because No More Heroes came out on the Wii. There hasn't been a Final Fantasy game, at least one of the main series, at all, for a very long time. Just like there hasn't been a Street Fighter game in a very long time. But Street Fighter could make a little bit more sense to me because there was a Street Fighter game that came out when the 3DS launched. And Final Fantasy, I guess, makes an extent because, like I talked about earlier in the video, they did come out with a new Final Fantasy game that allows you to dress the characters up like previous Final Fantasy characters, like Cloud. So I guess that it makes sense to an extent. I am excited to play it, although it wouldn't have been my choice for a DLC character. I would have preferred Bayonetta. I would have preferred probably Knuckles, or you know, somebody from a series that's more aligned and attached to Nintendo. But that's just my 2 cents. Now, I know that it's been kind of a long-winded video. I wanted to show actual stuff as it was playing and stuff like that and give my thoughts on it. I'm kind of mixed. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like. They showed off like 3 or 4 Pokemon games, none of which I was really that interested in. And they showed off all kinds of amiibo, which I feel like you're going crazy with the amiibo. Some of the stuff, like I said, it's great that with Twilight Princess HD you're still using the same amiibo and not coming off a whole new set. But you are coming out with like a Golden Mega Man, which doesn't do anything different from a normal one. And you are coming out with these amiibo that really don't have any purpose outside of their normal games. And this is what I would like to see more of. Like, if you're going to release Splatoon amiibo, that's perfectly fine. They work with Splatoon, but they should work with other games. Maybe have an update to what works with Mario Kart 7, for an example. Have it work in something other than just Splatoon. You know? That's where I draw the line, because one of the things I didn't like about like Skylanders and stuff like that is the fact that they only work with Skylanders games. Amiibo was supposed to be different and work across the board with multiple games. And for the most part, it does. You know, you get characters like Luigi and Mario that you can use as doubles characters in like the new Mario Tennis game that's going to come out. And Mario and Luigi can be used to unlock costumes in Mario Kart 8, and they can be used in Smash Brothers. And so, for the most part, it is sort of across the board. But then every now and then you get these ones that are just like, yeah, but they're really exclusive. Like, look at the Lucas amiibo that's going to be released. Can I put Lucas on my gamepad for Earthbound Beginnings? And no, I can't. It only works with Smash Brothers. So only time will tell with what a lot of the stuff is going to be. For the most part, it wasn't okay. I felt like Nintendo's E3 presentation was more solid. And we all know that I didn't really like the E3 presentation that much because there wasn't a lot of the announcements that I wanted to hear. But this was still more solid. They had a lot more games to show off and a lot of more announcements that I understood why they announced. Although really I was more excited because there was more surprises from the E3 presentation. This was showing off more stuff that we already knew about. Stuff that was already pretty much just confirming stuff that we already kind of knew was coming out. And yeah, I think that's about it. What did you guys think about the Nintendo Direct? I was kind of iffy about it, kind of back and forth with a lot of it. Some of it was okay, like, you know, showing off Xenoblade Chronicles X and Star Fox Zero. Other stuff I really wasn't on board for, like the Twilight Princess HD. But, I mean, again, I understood where that was coming from. But that's just my 2 cents, guys. I see that I've taken way too much time with this video here. I appreciate you watching me if you've watched this long. And make sure that you like, subscribe, and do whatever to show your support for this video and for my channel. I appreciate all the support I can get. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.